It is the bottom of the ninth for lawmakers to strike a deal with the Oakland A's, but now the divide for a deal grows wider. Jacqueline's here to break down where lawmakers stand tonight.
$220 million. That's the gap we are seeing tonight, and the latest on the table. Here's the breakdown. So the A's want $395 million in bonds, but lawmakers' latest pitch, $20 million less than what we've been reporting. The latest offer, $175 million in bonds. Now, could $125 million from Clark County fill the gap? Tonight, a source high up in Clark County tells me there are worries about your property taxes if local bonds happen to be used for a ballpark. If the A's can't pay their own debt with these county bonds, it could all fall on you. If fans don't fill the stands, you could pay for the stadium with higher property taxes. That's the big concern from some Clark County officials, according to a high-level source privy to talks over a ballpark bill, and the impact of using Clark County's bonds to fill a financing gap. $125 million in bonds has been discussed. Think of these local bonds like a credit card you use. They are debts. They're backed by the county. These bonds are all paid for by taxes from sales at the ballpark. Game tickets, live events, concert tickets, food, all those help pay off that debt. So what if there's not enough sales? Then not enough tax revenue generated to pay off that debt? That's the key worry here. So if so, the county digs into what's called its debt service reserve, created just for the ballpark. Depending on the financing terms, reserves start getting cash flow once the stadium opens. If money runs out of the reserve, the county has two choices: pull from the general fund or raise your property taxes. I'm told no matter how much bonds Clark County could give, an untested stadium needs higher revenue coverage. There must be enough money set aside to cover revenue shortfalls and payments. Though property taxes are a last resort, a lot could happen to a ballpark and sales over 30 years. Clark County Chairman Jim Gibson explains why Clark County's bonds must be invested wisely.
Clark County has the highest bond rating in southern Nevada. It is so incredibly well run. The resources are guarded with a real jealous approach. And so we're not going to waste anything. We're not going to throw anything away.
There's a lot at stake here. So last week's home game in Oakland, there was an attendance of about 2,000 people. We asked A's management about all these concerns about the bonds. We're still waiting for their response. We also asked for stadium renderings. Lawmakers tell me they exist, but neither Fox 5 nor you have seen them just yet.